Space, the final frontier.
This is the podcast State of the Federation.
Its continuing mission.
To preview strange new ships.
To seek out new builds and new combinations.
To boldly go where no show has gone before.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the Federation, and welcome to another broadcast of State of the Federation. It's good once again to see you guys. We're here with all of your Star Trek Attack Wing strategy and news of the day. All things wonderful and experiential and cool stuff going on in the tournament scenes. Today we have our illustrious co-hosts again. We've got David. David, how is it going for you tonight?
It's going all right. It's another Tuesday. Busy week of games coming up, so yeah, all's good around here.
That's right. Tabletop Day is coming up this weekend. Go out
Yes,
and play some Star Trek Attack Wing. Get it out in the public eye.
Hey,
Tucker.
no better time.
Tucker, how are you doing today?
I am doing great. You want to know why? Ask me why. God damn it, you guys. Okay. So you know how there's pepper jack cheese, right?
Yes.
I just discovered there's such a thing as habanero jack, and it is delicious.
That sounds good.
Oh my god, yeah. It's the middle of Passover, so I'm stuck eating matzah, but I'm just melting habanero cheese over matzah and calling them machos. Like, matzah nachos.
Matzah nachos.
Yeah, machos. And it's matzah and habanero cheese, and it's great.
Nice.
Yeah.
Excellent. So you guys ready to do some Star Trek Attack Wing tonight?
Mm-hmm.
We've got a lot of cool stuff that just kind of popped up and appeared. And that is all of the information regarding our Peak Performance Prize, the very first released shuttlecraft. I'm not quite sure what to make of it, to be honest, really.
I've seen some interesting theories floating around the boards. I came up with something that I posted in the Skype chat. I'll probably bring it up today. Will and Dave didn't seem to like it very much, but I liked it.
Mm-hmm.
I do have one other thing for it, and that's, the prize card that came on the paw, the tunneling neutrino beam that lets you heal, and then you heal a friendly ship, and then you can't attack with the ship that uses the neutrino beam. I think that might be a non-suicidal use for the Sakharov.
Mm-hmm.
We don't see it on RSVs. We're not going to see it on the Sakharov.
Yeah. But, within faction, it might actually work, so.
Indeed. So, let's get started with, I guess we'll get started with what being a shuttle means to the game to begin with. Because it comes with its own 2 pages of additional rules. Huzzah! So let's see, how do I want to go through this? We can shorten it up, but I'll just start reading to start with. Shuttlecrafts. They are treated as normal ships with the following exceptions. They can only attack at range 1 to 2, so they are like fighters in that manner. They have short-range weapons. They can be active or inactive, which means they can actually be docked on a ship that could carry them. They cannot take, if for some reason they are able to take a weapon, they cannot take a weapon that costs more than 3 points, except specifically for the antimatter mines upgrade.
This is because the first time we even saw antimatter mines, they were being deployed out of a shuttlecraft.
Mm-hmm. Even though we can't technically deploy antimatter mines that we currently have out of the shuttlecraft.
Well, I don't think it was the Sakharov that was deploying them.
Oh no, more shuttlecraft?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well, the Ferengi shuttlecraft is coming up, so.
For each shuttlecraft assigned to your fleet, there must be a ship with a hull value of 4 or more, referred to as a capital ship. Well, this is new. Did they actually refer to them as a capital ship when we came with the... Oh no, because that was made up by Worf after the fighters were released.
That's correct.
Interesting. So, let's see. Number one question here. Can you take a shuttle and a fighter and a single capital ship? I think we were talking about it and we decided the answer was no.
I think Worf might have ruled on that. I might be wrong.
Worf hasn't existed for like 3 weeks, so.
And the shuttle has only been spoiled for like the last one.
I don't know. Look, I might be crazy. Whatever.
Well, we would never deny you that, sir.
I mean, I'll say this for my venues. I'm saying that the answer is you have to have a capital ship for every fighter and for every shuttle.
Mm-hmm. And the only problem I see with that is I think that if anything, it would just mean less play time for the shuttle.
Yeah. But
is it a big deal? Not at the moment, because I'm not sure why you'd want to play it anyway, but we'll get to that in another minute.
Yeah.
Let's see. Shuttlecraft. Docking a shuttlecraft. Shuttlecraft can dock. So during the activation phase, you may use an action to dock the shuttlecraft on another ship with a hull value of 4 or more, which places all the captain and upgrades face down under the shuttlecraft, removes it from the play area. It's basically on the other ship. And the other ship gets an auxiliary power token. Why? I have no idea.
I'm guessing something action economy prevention, but I really couldn't figure this one out either.
Because they felt like it.
You can only use the action if, after the shuttlecraft moves, its base overlaps a friendly ship's base, or if after one of his ships moves, that ship's base overlaps a shuttlecraft. Otherwise, if it overlaps normally, the shuttlecraft suffers a damage in addition to the normal overlap rules. So this is an additional weakness that even the similarly sized fighters do not have. Which I think might be a pretty interesting thing to add to fighters. Not that they were that strong anyways, with the existence of cloaked mines being a thing. They are definitely dangerous. Let's see. Moving on. While a shuttlecraft is docked, it's destroyed if its ship is destroyed. Its cards can't be used. You may exchange cards from the shuttlecraft to the docking ship and vice versa by spending the docking ship's action to perform that's the specific action on the card. Which does allow you to move any number of captain and or upgrade cards between the docking ship and the shuttlecraft. However, all upgrade restrictions still apply, and both ships must still have a captain. You cannot switch cards that have an extra cost or can only be deployed to a specific ship or type by using this action.
My assumption here is that the upgrade restrictions still apply, means that you have to observe slots. So that means extra slots matter. I would be very careful if you're planning to dump extra shuttlecraft crew onto a ship with free slots, which is something I'm sure we'll talk about, that you fill up your extra slots when you're deploying at the beginning of the game, and keep the base slots free.
Because it has been ruled that your extra slots no longer exist outside of the fleet creation step, phase, planning part before you actually play the game. Which is also really weird, but hey. We can go with it. We'll see if it gets a ruling at some point during Nationals, because peak performance is not allowed at Nationals, is it? It's Wave 14 and... Wave 14.
It is. No one's gonna have this ship, but...
Which
yeah,
is
they
probably...
said peak is, Q continuum isn't.
Gotcha.
It's probably a good thing that the ship is not allowed at Nationals. I don't want to see Nationals devolve into arguing over how shuttlecraft work.
Oh, we can't avoid it forever. Shuttlecraft will be legal for Worlds, I'm sure. Let's see. You can launch a shuttlecraft at the start of the planning phase. Place it anywhere within range 1 of the docking ship, which is a pretty nice ability, actually. It's very rare you get to actually deploy a ship outside of, well, the very first turn of the game again. And let's see. Auxiliary power token besides both ships. That seems a little harsh again. And choose a maneuver for reactive shuttlecraft. I mean, I like the launching procedure. I think this would be cool to hatch for. I think this could be a cool gateway for fighters, actually making your fighters start on a ship or some such thing like that. But as it is, we don't have any fighter carrier rules right now, so they are applying them to shuttlecraft, I guess. It works, but yeah. So a little bit like fighters, with their own special set of rules, and it changes things for the shuttle, but how much does it change the game?
Not a lot.
Because a lot of the thing I'm seeing is that if you're looking at the shuttle and you're looking at the things it can do, there's a lot more. There's still not much reason to run the shuttle. You're still limited by your slots. The actions that the shuttle can take, referring to docking ships, are pretty terrible, especially with those auxiliary power tokens getting added. And how do you even take an action when you're overlapping another ship?
I'm assuming it's specific trumps general, and that this is like explicitly an action you could do when you're overlapping, question mark?
A player may only use the docking action if after his shuttlecraft moves, its base overlaps a friendly ship's base, or if something else overlaps the shuttle.
What I'm assuming that means is if something with lower initiative moves before the shuttle and they start touching, they can just take the action and dock. Look, this entire rule system is a complete mess, so I'm taking guesses because God knows we're not getting a warp thing.
Mm-hmm. Also, it also seems a little bit. This is like the most, what do I want to say, screen realistic kind of ruling thing you can do with shuttles that has not really existed in the game before. Mainly because of, well, now you can move crew to and from various ships by shuttle ferrying them. You know, shuttle docks, takes a crew, moves over, docks, drops off the crew, whatever. Yet the entire game we've had transporters, and we can't do that.
Yeah, well, it's also worth mentioning that is a horribly inefficient way to move crew from point A to B.
Especially while we still have.
You should be doing that.
Especially while we still have the reinforcement sideboard resource.
I mean, we won't, but this is a way we can do it for forever, which is nice. Also, there
not a
is
resource.
a very specific way to dump a whole bunch of stuff onto one ship at once, which we'll get to later today.
Indeed. Let's see. So, moving on to the shuttlecraft as a ship. The Sakharov, we have a 1-2-2-2, which is same stats as the Apnex. The generic is a 1-2-2-1. Only has the scan and evade actions available. And the Sakharov itself, at the start of the game during the Gather Forces step, you may purchase an additional crew or tech upgrade for the ship. This upgrade may exceed the ship's restrictions and costs -2 SP, minimum 0.
I'm okay with that.
What? That's weird.
What?
Oh, okay. It's not actually adding a slot. It's just saying you may purchase an additional one.
Yeah, it's like the Enterprise NX-01.
Gotcha. So this could have either. It starts with a crew and a tech slot, so it could either have an additional tech or crew on top of that for 14 points. I mean, still seems like I'd much rather have the Apnex or the generic Romulan science vessel.
Yeah. No, I completely agree with you.
Because the science vessel comes with a crew and a tech slot. The named comes with 2 crew and 1 tech slot. And in addition to evade, it doesn't get the scan action. Big whoop-de-doo for the great one attack it has. But it has cloak and sensor echo, which are really good for surviving things.
I mean, this is what? This is 16 points. I mean, I guess it's 14 effectively with the thing, but look, I find it hard to justify the Apnex, you know, as opposed to a generic. Like, I don't know why I'm going to take this over a generic RSV. I said from the beginning, like, they'll tell you, you know, folks at home, they will tell you, Dave and Will tell you, I said from the beginning, the only way this is going to be playable is if it costs less than 12 points, and it doesn't, so it's not. With one sort of corner case exception that we'll be covering.
Yeah, even if it was just like a 1-2-1-1, I think it would see play at 10.
Oh, look, the cheapest vessel in the game is always going to see play.
Because there's something you can do with it.
Right, and especially in the face of the 120 50-point ruling.
Oh, yeah.
You know, there's always going to be the cheap, like, the instant we get a 10-point ship, the Apnex is going to be, like, toast.
Depends on how good it is, but yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, if it doesn't have a tech slot or something, the Apnex will still see use, but...
And I could still see, there's still some people out there running the named Romulan Scout.
And, well, they're crazy.
They are. But it is the second least expensive ship in the game, or of some sort. So I think there will still be some room for variety. If we get two cheaper ships than the RSV that fulfill different roles, then it'll probably be out of date.
Yeah.
Ship should have been 8 points. I agree with you, Bane of Borg. That would have been nice. It doesn't need no stinking shields.
Shields? We don't got to show you no shields. We don't need no stinking shields.
And really, what shuttle has two hull? I mean,
I could see a runabout.
Yeah, I could have seen a runabout with two hull. But now if we ever get a runabout, how is it better than this?
Is the runabout gonna have 3 hull, or is I mean, because let me tell you something. I just got done watching Star Trek Voyager. There is not a damn shuttle on that show that has 2 hull. You breathe on those things wrong and they're going down.
Exactly. Well, the Delta Flyer, but
I was gonna say the DS9 runabouts could give those Jem'Hadar attack ships a run for their money.
I know.
Let's see. They could not die against the Jem'Hadar attack ships. Let's be very clear.
Yeah. Now I actually want a Delta Flyer in this game.
It's impossible for me to take Delta Flyers seriously after Voltaire's Band on Vulcan album. Are we familiar with that?
I'm not.
Oh my god. So he has a song called The Sexy Data Tango, which is literally 3.5 minutes of Star Trek sexual euphemisms. And one of my favorites is so lower your shields, spread your nacelles, and make room for his craft as he thrusts his Delta Flyer in your big fat juicy aft.
Okay then.
No, I'm serious. Listen,
sorry, I'm gonna have to tag this one not safe for work, guys.
No, come on. That was I said no curse words.
True, that is very true. Although your singing was very magnificent, Tucker, we might get noise bleeped on Twitch.
I don't know. I do music stuff now. I do DJing here in Albuquerque, Wednesday the 22nd. Come out.
Last bit for the shuttlecraft. It has every 1 and 2 maneuver in the game for a non-Borg ship. All white, all green. 1 come-abouts, 1 turns, 2 turns, 2 come-about. 1 and 2 banks and straights are all green. Does not have reversal, somehow.
Has there been a ship that has reverse and come-about?
No, but there should be.
Why?
Because why not? Have you seen the Borg?
Okay, fair.
We don't need this to live by certain rules for your movement cards. But yeah, interesting array of stuff. Not that useful yet. What might make it useful? I don't know. Let's look at some of the cards inside. Starting with Captain Data. 2-point Federation Captain. He comes with a talent slot and 3 skill. At the start of the game, place an evade, a scan, and a battle stations token on his card. During the activation phase, you may take one of these tokens off the card and place it beside your ship, even if there's already one there. So this is not too terrible. It's a limited use kind of free Picard action-y kind of deal.
Yeah. When I first read it, I thought it was worse than it was because I thought you only got to pick one token. The fact that it gets one of each is better.
Mm-hmm. And he can use it. It's during the activation phase. Take one of the tokens off and place it beside. So it's kind of like Alexander.
Mm-hmm.
In that number 1, it's not an action, so you can do it even if you did a red maneuver that turn.
Mm-hmm.
Or number 2, it's again not an action, so you can take a battle station and put another battle station token down.
Or you can get 2 evades or something.
2 evades.
Scans.
I wouldn't mind 2 evades in the first turn of opening fire combat. Something's going to get shot at a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I guess looking at him, I'd say that if you're in a position where you're running 3 Fed ships, and you already have Picard and Spock as your first 2 captains, you could do worse than Data as your third.
Mm-hmm. He is bargain basement budget. And not too shabby. He even comes with a talent slot. I don't know. Looking at him, though, the only thing I can complain about is he's looking a little bit smug in the captain's chair over there.
He always looks smug.
I mean, all of these pictures are from Peak Performance. So, yeah.
That had to have been his most smug episode. Especially after the well, we'll get to that in a minute.
Yes.
Let's see. The talent that comes with these guys is the 4-point Federation talent, Computer Analysis. During the planning phase, you may discard this card and remove all the disabled upgrade tokens from all your other upgrades. That's cool. I mean, if you don't have the slot for like Phlox, or you need something of a little bit more, a little bit wider range. Sucks that you have to discard it.
Yeah, I mean, it's one-time use. Considering how many good options we already have for this effect in the game, like, I'm not super hot on it.
I've been happier if it was like 2 points, then maybe it could find a home with like some kind of secondary weapon plus the guy from the Excelsior.
Loger?
Oh,
yeah.
Loger?
Yeah, the one that... So you can disable him to fire a weapon, you fire the weapon, and then disable it again the next turn, and then that's 2 things that you disable for no action, you re-enable them, and you get 4 straight shots of whatever cool weapon you're using at the time.
Right, because there are cool weapons that require you to disable.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it could be something just as simple as your good old favorite, the Dominion rear arc shooting thingy.
You had to go and bring that up, didn't you?
Could be the wide spectrum Romulan disruptors. God, I'm gonna have to start remembering these names now. It's hard when I'm not actually getting
Disruptor Pulse?
Yeah.
Is that what you're trying for?
Man, there's getting more cards and I don't have them all memorized anymore. It's sad, and I feel like I'm getting old and Alzheimer-y.
Yeah, I think the computer analysis could
Tucker,
have
did you lose your headphones?
Yeah, I accidentally unplugged them. If you got an echo, that's what that was, but they're back now.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, in the Dreadnought days, this would be better. Nowadays, eh.
Yeah, in the Dreadnought days, I could see taking it as a backup in case somebody ganked your Doctor or Phlox or something, but these days, eh. But then again, Dreadnought days might be here again. Let's keep going.
All right. A couple tech upgrades for this one. Starting with Warp Drive. During the activation phase, if you reveal a 2 forward maneuver, you may disable this card to perform a white 3 forward or a red 4 forward maneuver instead. This upgrade may only be purchased for a Federation shuttlecraft, and no ship may be equipped with more than 1 Warp Drive upgrade. This is a 2-point Federation tech.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
Like, look, if you're running a shuttlecraft, you're not running it because you want it to go really fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And isn't ion thrusters the same price, even?
Yeah, I mean, you take a faction penalty.
Or warp drive. Well, there's warp drive refit, but this doesn't even have a 3 straight to use that one.
Yeah.
Should that mean that the Sakharov is immune from warp core breaches?
No.
You'd like to think so.
Have a warp core.
I know, right?
But here's the thing: shuttles can go to warp.
Yeah, it's not a very high warp, but it was good enough for Scotty.
Okay, wait.
You're giving me one of your shuttles?
Shit. Okay, we're good.
All right.
I may be running sacks of dark Drock beans to fall in London right now.
Oh,
I may have run into a Western Angler crab at a really bad time.
Moving on to everyone's favorite card that I know Tucker's going to want to talk about.
Yeah, here we go.
Escape Transporter. For the same 2 points of Federation tech upgrade that can only be purchased for a Federation shuttlecraft, you could get a transporter instead of a warp drive. When your ship is destroyed, before removing it from the play area, you may discard this card to target a friendly ship at range 1 to 2 that is not cloaked, and disable all of that ship's remaining shields. Select up to 3 other upgrades that were deployed to this ship and redeploy them to the target ship, even if it exceeds that ship's restrictions. If any of the redeployed upgrades were already disabled, they remain disabled. Upgrade may only be purchased for a Federation shuttlecraft.
Okay, so here's what you do. You set up with the shuttlecraft. If you can set up with the shuttlecraft docked, then this becomes so much better. We're not sure whether you can or not. Well, let's assume you can for a second, because otherwise you spend your first turn docking it. Okay, you spend your first action shuffling upgrades, offloading as many from the shuttlecraft as possible to fill your slots and beat the limit. Then you fly your shuttlecraft off the board intentionally and escape transport yourself to, damn it, you know what I'm saying.
Yes.
You make a dreadnought. You make a dreadnought.
Sacrifice the 2 points for the transporter and 14 points for the shuttle, and gets 3 not quite free, but 3 slotless upgrades onto a ship of your choice that circumvents the 50-point navigation rule. Limitation.
Because war can go screw themselves.
We're playing nice here, sir. Let's see. Now, my only thing is fleeing the battlefield, page 18. If a ship executes a maneuver that causes any part of its base to go outside the play area, that ship has fled the battlefield. Unless specified by the mission overview, ships that flee the battlefield are immediately destroyed. It works. Sounds like it. All right. Now I can finally get to Joseph's comment earlier, now that we're at Escape Transporter. He finds it really weird that you can transport up to 3 upgrades to another ship, but even if you put it on the Sakharov itself, you only got 2 other slots.
Unless you have something else giving you slots.
Mm-hmm.
Fleet Captain or, say, Picard 8 that gives you a crew upgrade.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to spend that much? Well, maybe there would be a cheaper upgrade or slotter, because you cannot save the captain with the escape transporter. He goes down.
No. You transfer him off when you dock.
Yep, David's got it. Because what you do is your dreadnought.
You put like a generic captain back on the Sakharov.
Your dreadnought spends no points on a friggin' on a captain, right? Because it has 50 points to spend. It's going to spend it all on upgrades because it's going to be getting a pretty good captain when the shuttlecraft lands.
And possibly a set of antimatter mines, because that's the only weapon that the shuttle can carry.
Or Sulu, or tech stuff. You don't know. You don't know me.
How would this even interact with Quark?
I don't want to know.
Quark takes stuff with him.
But does it count as a weapon on board the shuttle?
No, but I think it would mean you couldn't deploy the card under Quark. Because Quark says deploy it to your ship, right?
Picard 8 or any of the other slot-granting captains the kind you want on a dreadnought?
I want Picard 8 on a dreadnought.
Picard 8 seems fine.
I could see... let me think. Who else grants slots? God.
Borg Queen.
Yeah, that's what I did. That's what I did for one. Borg Queen on a dreadnought means you can, or on a shuttle means you get a free Borg slot to carry across. So
I'll escape transport my Borg ablative hull armor onto your ship. This makes sense in universe. I promise it does.
Escape transporting Borg ablative hull armor off your ship. Okay, quick. Put the transporter on the Borg armor.
Transport all our armor plating. I don't know, that Voyager ablative hull armor seemed to do this really cool, fancy generate from the front and then cover the entire ship.
Yeah. But the Voyager ablative hull armor is not that great. Why did it burn so much fuel on this trip?
You could throw a talent from here onto another ship.
Yeah, the captain goes down with the ship, but go ahead and cheat death.
Go ahead and send the talent to the other ship that he was going to use.
Yeah, Kirk's like, okay, I'm going down with the ship, but I'm transferring my knowledge of cheating death.
You could, is this unique?
No.
You could transport a transport. Oh my god, this isn't unique?
No, but it can only be purchased for a Federation shuttlecraft.
Yeah, but you could have... Oh yeah, because you'd need 2 ships for the shuttle. Yeah, okay. Never mind.
But yeah, so we can...
as soon as it went on a non-shuttlecraft, it would be discarded.
No, I was just thinking like I was thinking you could have two shuttles and just make a super dreadnought, but that wouldn't work.
Yeah, because you need a second carrier.
Unless the Akira lets you carry extra things, which is something that people have been speculating about, because
it's an actual carrier kind of ship.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a carrier.
That's cool. All right, one last card. One last card for this one. We got our 5-point Federation crewman, Sirna Kohlrami, everyone's favorite we don't like you guy. Unique, of course, when defending during the compare results step, if you cancel all of your opponent's hit and crit results, you may discard this card and disable one of your other upgrades to immediately roll a number of attack dice equal to the number of hit and crit results that were canceled, max of 4 dice. The attacking ship suffers normal damage for every hit or crit result you roll with these dice.
I want Super Voyager back.
Yeah, right? This is like your feedback pulse that isn't terrible.
Yeah.
Roll your 6 attack dice. I will negate them all with my 7 defense dice plus reroll. And then shoot you back with, well, maximum of 4 dice.
But still.
But the fact that I can do it every time I cancel all your dice...
Well, you have to discard Kohlrami.
Gee, I wonder if we have ways around that one.
I don't know. Are they good enough to work anymore in the age of Madred?
Yes, because if you pair them with Lee Nollis, Madred only works once, and you won't lose your guy.
Unless Madred has Lee Nollis on his side too.
Then he'll get to use him twice, and you will get to use it an infinite number of times. Madred does not work against Sopek or Wayun and Lee Nollis.
That's a good point.
Even if I get to use Kohlrami twice in the game, I'm okay with that. The fact that people run Tasha just to use her once is good enough.
If she gets blown up. And you can have both of them on the same ship, which is just hilarious.
The difference I don't like about this is that Kohlrami does not get around enemy defenses. And he has... And he... Well, he almost certainly is going to go off in the combat phase.
Yes, except for like fighters being Admiral Worf type thing.
Which is a real concern, let's be honest.
But then again, if fighters are attacking during the activation phase, there's very low possibility of you actually negating all of their hit crit results.
Yeah.
That's true.
Horned Rat 420, Tasha's clutch. She sure is. She likes to stab at you.
You know, she was kind of crazy and vindictive. I always liked that about her.
For more fun, run Tasha with I Stab at Thee.
Yeah, but I mean, come on, we all knew about that one.
Yeah.
That's nothing.
We've all run that one. Well, maybe not all, but...
I don't think I've run that one.
I haven't run it yet because I haven't been able to explore the faction mixing.
Why am I suddenly so slow?
But yeah. Anyways, Kohlrami is too pricey for what he does.
Oh yeah, 5 points, discard, happens once. Give me Tasha, she's only 2.
He's not good on Federation at all.
Tasha 2 or 4.
Kohlrami is meant for cloaking. Like, he is a scimitar with Gul Dukat. Best friend.
Plus some other card because he has to disable another upgrade.
Oh. Well, that's what we have Bokra for.
Yeah! We love Paramin Bakra.
Yeah.
Our 1 point fillers.
The 1 point Romulan, nothing good guy, nothing.
Crew ganker.
Yeah, Romulan Clag.
Yes.
Yep. One of 2.
Terrace's airlock fodder.
Airlock fodder.
Come here, I want to fire 360.
But yeah, that is the shuttle. Overall, as a prize ship, what do we think?
I'm glad it's a prize ship and I don't have to pay $15 for it.
I mean, you can give this one a miss, unless... So, the build I was alluding to, and I'll pause Sunless C here to go read it off, is the following. Romulan Science Vessel, Martok 5, cost 6 on the RSV, Admiral Mendak for a total of 22, Queen Vessel Prime and Goval with a Borg Shield Matrix, total of 50, and then Sakharov, Sopek, Resource Klingon Independent Fleet Captain, Borg Alliance for 1 point, thanks to the Fleet Captain, William T. Riker, the Enterprise E version.
Is that in chat?
Beverly Crusher. Blocks. Yes, 1. It is in chat.
Can you repost that real quick?
Okay, but it's going to have some smileys in the face of some of the costs because that's how Skype works.
Yeah.
But you should know what they cost.
Yeah.
I just sent it.
Cool.
So, secondary impulse reactor, emergency transporter for 0 because of Sakharov, and Borg ablative hull armor for 11 points, total 48. So basically the way this works is exactly like we said. You land the Sakharov on the Queen Vessel Prime, you shuffle Sopek and a bunch of other stuff off. You can leave Borg Alliance, it doesn't matter after deployment. You then intentionally blow the ship up to exceed your upgrade restrictions. Bada bing, bada boom, bada bam. You have a Sopek 1 and Beverly Crusher Phlox ridiculous dreadnought thing. Why did I not just do this with Varel? Does anyone know why I didn't just do this with Varel?
Not enough points? You got a lot. How many things are you moving with the emergency transporter?
It doesn't matter because you first
dock first.
Offload, yeah.
Yep.
And I made sure you. The reason I actually picked Queen Vessel Prime is because you actually need that extra crew slot to get. I think you put 1 on there first or something, but. You actually do need to move one of the crew with the shuttle. Everything else fits with the captain and the Borg ablative hull armor fit with the stuff. A secondary impulse reactor is just to fill up the points. You can take it if you want. It's not bad.
Yeah.
Or you could take the reinforcement sideboard.
Yeah, but that would take. I mean, this takes 2 or 3 turns to get all that stuff, and it exceeds point restrictions. The sideboard takes like, I don't know, like it would take like. First of all, you couldn't even do this, and second of all, even if you could, it would take like 8 turns. Mm-hmm. And then second of all, with the reinforcement sideboard,
48 points, Sakharov.
Well, here's the thing. It doesn't count as a the sideboard does not count as a ship, but the Sakharov does.
Mm-hmm.
So the Sakharov says, I don't need to run some other stupid waste of point ships. You know, for effectively 6 more points than the sideboard, it makes everything happen faster, and it says I don't have to run a 12-point RSV to fill out my numbers or something. I mean, I already am, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, you don't have to.
Yeah, but that has Martok with an admiral that's giving the Queen Vessel Prime battle stations every turn.
Heck yeah.
That's the action Martok. So you're actually getting in addition to SOPEC 1, you're also getting target lock and battle stations. You might not, because SOPEC is skill 7 and he gives himself an auxiliary power token. Damn it.
You have Martok give SOPEC his SOPEC action.
Oh, there you go. Thank you.
Yeah,
I've worked with this before. It's more fun if you're using the Fleet Captain Independent Federation, though, so you can also give someone a movement. But
you need
the slots in the point reduction, yeah.
Right.
Yes.
So you essentially have a 20-something sacrificial shuttle.
Well, remember, you're moving everything off it. Except, I guess, for Borg Alliance, which costs 1 point.
And the Fleet Captain.
That moves with SOPEC. It is equipped to the captain, not the ship.
Correct. You unload SOPEC before you transport everything.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So
yeah, and that means he also keeps his captain skill of 7, Madred. Hear that? You got a 50-50 shot of even taking this guy out, assuming I don't. You know, Goval, Beverly, where I said Beverly Crusher, you should read Lee Nollis. We made that substitution in chat later on.
Gotcha.
She ends up costing the same because Beverly Crusher costs 1 more point than Lee Nollis, which is stupid. So yeah, but you end up having SOPEC and Goval and Lee Nollis on the same ship, just in case somebody gets snippy and tries to Madred your SOPEC.
And the only thing you're losing from this is the shuttle, 14, Borg Alliance 15, impulse reactor 16, emergency transporter.
No. You take the impulse
18.
Reactor
if you want it.
It has the slot. There's no reason not to.
Well, Borg Blade of Hull Armor is 1. 1 of your crew. Phlox is 2, Lenalis is 3.
You can take any number of the upgrades when you put it on the thing.
Select up to 3 other upgrades that were deployed to this ship. Oh, I'm talking about the emergency transporter.
Right, that's the trick. You have to remember you are doing most of your offloading with the base shuttle ability. What you should be offloading. Let me just spell this out.
So you would have to offload everything except 3 crewmen. Because the Queen Vessel only has 2 crew slots.
Right. So you offload SOPEC, 1 secondary impulse reactor, and Borg Blade of Hull Armor. Right? Leaving
you can't do that one,
a generic captain, Borg Alliance. I mean, you could take Borg Alliance.
Okay.
Why not? Why not take it? Okay. So you're leaving a generic captain, Riker, Lee Nollis, and Phlox, and the emergency transporter. The generic captain can't go. You die. The emergency transporter kicks in. You transport off 3 crew, and all you lose is the shuttle itself and the emergency transporter, which is free because of the Sakharov's ability.
14 points. Cool.
Yeah.
And everything else makes it on to Queen Vessel Prime. Glory days! Welcome back to the age of the Dreadnought.
And you have a 98-point Queen Vessel Prime Dreadnought.
Not quite.
Not quite. It's
98 minus 14.
Oh, yeah.
It also occurs to me, I'm thinking about it right now, and I think Borg Alliance you can't actually take because it can't go on a Borg ship. So I think you just
That's
leave
true.
it on the.
Yeah, 15 points. That counts as an upgrade, so you wouldn't have an actual talent slot available on Queen Vessel Prime. Oh, I guess you would with Sopek.
Yeah, you're just taking SotF.
Yeah, whatever.
I mean, it doesn't really. That is completely immaterial. Borg Alliance only matters so you can get the Borg Blade of Hull Armor on the shuttle.
Mm-hmm.
Which, by the way, does a decent job of keeping the shuttle alive just in case something crazy happens while you're trying to do this.
Crazy? That's ridiculous. We don't do crazy around here.
Crazy, they call me. Sure, I'm crazy. Sorry, that's a Fallout reference. Well, and like a really old jazz music reference, but you know what I mean.
The only thing I remember from Fallout is I don't want to set the world on fire.
I just want to start a flame in your heart.
Moving on.
The sad thing is, the quality of my microphone is probably such that it sounds about as good as the recording of that does in the game in like 8-bit mono.
All right. Next section up. We talked about the shuttle. Now the question is, how do we win a shuttle? Welcome to Peak Performance.